Nerds at the Cool Table.
We bike.
Episode 50-something.
Back. Oh, I forgot this camera.
Dang, episode 57?
50-something. I don't even know where we're
Yeah, it's like 54.
54 or something.
54, yeah.
But this is our season 4 premiere with Kyle as our fourth.
What's up, peeps?
We haven't replaced Jason.
Well, we can just keep it real. We have
Tentatively.
Oh, we
we
have
have replaced Jason
Okay.
permanently with myself. Okay, so we might as well just announce it, bro.
Yeah, we might as well let him know on the season.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, all right, cool.
We killed Jason off in the season premiere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're on some Game of Thrones shit right now. How's it going, guys? We're still sort of in quarantine and in lockdown. If you see us without a mask, that means because we're all Rona negative, which is a good
We all
thing.
got
Go get
tested.
tested. It's very free and easy in LA. So
I have not seen David in this entire
since
year.
February.
Damn, really?
We haven't
Here's
gotten
my
together
question.
since February. So what's been up? How's it going? Kyle, how are you? It's like,
I'm good.
I
You
forgot
know?
when you were our guest last time. It was like 2 seasons ago.
That was hella long ago.
We were talking about Game of Thrones. Who's the Night King?
Yeah,
That's how long.
That's true. Wow.
That was a minute ago.
Wow.
I've been good. Honestly, I've been missing the show. Me and young Jesus drive around listening to it all the time. And then we'll have to call Julian to try and like debate with
Argue
him on
the
the shit
points.
he just argued about.
Break
so,
it down a little bit. I get it.
yeah, you
what I'm
know,
here for.
it's been good though. It's been mad fun. I've been good. How about you?
I've been great. I've been at home since March, like everybody else. I mean, what else have been? We've tried to do a bunch of like virtual shows, which
We hate it.
we hate it. Like
If you haven't watched
diet.
our Zoom shows, me and you have a lot in common. Because I haven't watced our
Fucking
Zoom
hate it
Yeah, I'm
doing
gonna keep
that.
it solid. A Zoom podcast sounds kind of dumb because
Yeah.
it's like, bro. Oh, not that it was dumb.
no, it's fine. No, we
totally
agree.
I
Yeah, I was
fucking
to say
hate
it sounds. Oh, let me
The
kinda
novelty
It sounds
was
kind of
cool.
dumb because it's like, don't you need to sort of be in the room with each other to have that
to have a
conversation?
Yeah.
conversation.
Like you might as well just be recording a fucking phone call and
That's
just
all-
put
that's
it
what it was.
on the thing, you know?
That's
yeah,
exactly what
it was. Like a
It was
four-way.
rough.
It was like a 4-way phone call, but like one of us had bad service. That's what it felt like.
What?
So one of us always had
Fuck that
bad
service.
service.
Yeah.
It was really
Was it the same person every time, or was it a different person?
It was me a
It was
lot.
Julian.
It was
I think, yeah, it was definitely.
Okay.
And it was him while he was arguing.
And you
so
were-
he would like freeze in angry positions and then just be
you don't
like
know
that.
shit about Spider-Man.
And he would just be like that for the rest of the episode. And we have to keep going because it's recording off of like a web-based platform.
And he finally comes back, and it's like, Julian, we moved on from that, bro. We're not debating that anymore.
Yeah, that shit was the worst.
That was
I
rough.
hated it.
That was rough. Friendships were tested.
Yeah.
On Zoom.
But we kind of came out on top of it. We're fine now. It's tough to do. We wanted it. We had so many plans too. We wanted to do a Twitch, like live show, like through Zoom. But it was just like one of those things where like, why risk it? Why like have one of those things? Well, we're eventually gonna do one, a live show, but not through Zoom.
Not through Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not through Zoom. Like,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, Twitch would be pretty cool,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
would be dope.
Yeah.
And we could all be in the same room.
Yeah.
Hosting.
Yeah, can I, it just as a fan,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch y'all motherfuckers if you ain't in the same room. If you're not in the same
There
room,
you go.
I agree.
you know what I mean? I want to see you
completely
like
agree.
arguing face to face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
100%.
Totally agree.
Totally
It's in your way.
Selfishly as a fan,
Yeah.
selfishly, you know?
So what's been up? Like, what have you been doing during this whole like pseudo quarantine lockdown that we've all been? Like, have you been watching anything? How have you been keeping busy?
Man.
This whole time.
You know, during this entire quarantine, I just been keeping busy by like trying to find new shit that I'm good at, you know?
That's dope.
I feel like if you have downtime, you should explore everything you can because you might fuck around and find out you're good at something you didn't know you were good at. So I've been just
Yeah.
trying to like,
Did you find anything?
yeah, I found some good shit. Yeah, you know,
dope.
I've recently learned like about pitching a lot and like
Okay.
read mad books on the art of pitching
Good.
and studied that shit like it was a class. And I
Yeah.
found that I'm hella good at that, you
Oh,
know?
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah, like all the shit that I naturally do anyways, just kind of being over the top and like slightly like really annoyingly wanting your attention
Yeah.
is prime tools to just focus and sell a pitch, you know?
That's the crazy thing about like this like filmmaking world is that they don't tell you that you're gonna spend a lot of your time just pitching.
Yeah.
Being a salesman.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it
The
is.
biggest thing about like this, the fucking top priority of a
Yeah.
filmmaker
Yeah.
is knowing how to sell somebody on it. That's it.
Yeah.
All like for every movie that was made, there's fucking 2 million that weren't made because it didn't get
Yeah.
pitched. So even if you are the sickest writer, the sickest director, you know what I mean? Like if you try to sell people on your movie and you can't sell it, then it's pointless. And I only know that because I was like, from like these TV shows and shit that I was trying to work on and like films and movies and stuff that I'm trying to like force my foot in the door. It's like the film industry is still very much a super, super, super gatekeeper world, you know? So it's like people got to hand you your opportunities more than anything else. You feel me? Probably like maybe like the NFL, right? Like they can fuck you up if they want to. But in the film world, like they're going to hand you the opportunities. So the only other choice is to be a creator. And in order to be a creator, you have to fucking convince somebody with bread to fuck with it.
Yeah.
So I spent all this time trying to learn how to be a writer and how to be like a, you know what I mean? Sort of like a script writer or like a filmmaker or like, and studying all of these things, which are important.
Yeah.
But my shit wasn't getting picked up because I hadn't studied the art of pitching.
Yeah.
So over the past 3 months, I was like reading books on it, studying it, watching people on YouTube and shit,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
diving in on it, doing a bunch of mock pitches with people. And then I realized, oh, wow, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And then I would just pitch shit to people over the phone and they would just be like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's tight. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, for sure, I'm good. I'm lit now.
Like you
That's
got
when I
to
knew
be
I
a
was
shark
good.
essentially. You got to be a shark. You got to go for that shit. Like if you don't have like an Ari Gold in your corner, sort of thing, just to use an
It's like-
entourage reference, it's like you got to be a shark yourself.
It's like being a comedian, I feel like.
Okay.
You have to set up the punchline.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At time and time again. And you want to do it in the quickest way possible. You want to do it so fast it doesn't give them any opportunity to decide if they don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I tell you an idea in 5 seconds, it's really hard for you to really ingest how much you hate it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or how much you love it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying to know the person you're pitching to first. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
want to know what they like.
Yeah.
That's almost like manipulating anybody, kind of. It's manipulation,
Yeah.
for real. That's what it
Pretty
is.
much.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
And-
like you're convincing them, and it's like manipulating, convincing at the same time. So
Yeah. And just trying to set it up like almost like a comedian, like the right punchline at the right
comedic
time, and
timing.
then
Yeah.
the show is over and we're out of there. What do you
Yeah.
think? I fucked with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like studying that a lot.
that's
That's
dope.
dope.
These are
a
filmmaking
thing.
lessons.
Filmmaking lessons.
So now when you watch a
Listen.
bad movie, you're like, oh, that's a great salesman.
Exactly.
It's a great salesman.
Exactly.
Think about it like this.
All the bad movies.
The reason there's so many, think about how many bad movies there are.
Yeah.
Right? There's only that many bad movies because people are so good at pitching
They're
shit.
good at
Right.
pitching.
And a
Yeah.
bunch of awesome movies never got made because the
Because
person
the guy's like, so do you
was
think
like,
if you
yeah,
like the
so,
movie,
okay, so the movie is,
I wonder if it's going to be...
it's about it's about a guy. Okay,
about a guy.
And the guy, he's scared. And it's just like, God, no.
And,
fuck
he
no.
has a family and they're married. And
Get me out. It's like literally,
Yeah.
if you do that shit, your shit ain't never getting made. So
Yeah.
everybody if you spend all your time working on trying to get into the film industry and like being a filmmaker and shit, spend equal amount of time, if not more, learning how to be charismatic and pitch somebody on some shit. Or literally just go hire a homie of yours to do it.
who's
Like
super charismatic
Yeah.
and like
Literally.
aggressive about it.
Right.
That's good
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah.
Very good.
a comedian should just have that job.
Yeah, that should
There
be
should
like
damn near
in
be
their
like
bio.
a dude who's like a
Why do
comedian.
you think so many comedians have sitcoms? It makes me think of, now that you set it up with it's like being a comedian, it made me think like a bunch of comedians have sitcoms, and I wonder if like they're just really good at pitching it because they know how to be on stage.
possible.
You know what I mean?
Damn, it could be.
Yeah.
it could be. Think about it, because it's all gonna come down to some white dude sitting behind a desk that's like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking just
Yeah.
entertain me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dance.
Dance, like literally, like you know what I mean. And you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
No.
but it's kind of true. It's like,
It is, yeah.
how
It's
entertaining
still
can
like
you be
that
in
for
this
now.
conversation?
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like if somebody wanted me to fucking pick some shit up and be involved with some shit, they better make it sound awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
And if
Like,
you are that type of person that's hella charismatic and hella energetic and you tend to be convincing, try to check out your crew and see who needs help presenting stuff, who might
Yeah.
be really good at something. That might be a way you can contribute that you never thought about before.
Yeah, straight up. Nah, for real. And even I feel like it's like having a team of people who represent things that you don't for
Yeah.
the pitch. You know what I mean? Even if they're not like like, yeah, they just gotta represent things you don't. Like, for example, I'm working on this anime that I've been working on since the last time I talked to y'all.
Yeah.
And now we have Carl Jones involved, who is like a producer of Boondocks for mad long. And then just recently we got like Colin Kaepernick involved, and he's been helping me like work on the pitch hella much. And we just been like kind of meeting together, you know?
Yeah.
And when I think about our pitch, it's like we all represent 3 very different things. You know what I mean? Like, for one, we want to make this anime very much so just about like Black representation and deprogramming our thoughts on Black characters and just Black people and just Black things in general, right? They're always evil, they're always bad, and they're like never really that joyous and shit, especially when it comes to the world of anime. Like, you know what I mean? We have like Afro Samurai, fucking Huey, he's pissed off. Like, they're all mad. And anyways, we're focused on like deprogramming. You have like someone like Colin who represents like real serious social change. Like, I gave my life and my job for this shit, you know? And he can like start it off. That's like, take this shit serious. I'm fucking Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying?
Which is how he starts meetings.
Which is probably how he starts the meeting.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then somebody like myself will come in and sell you on the story and why it's funny and why it's entertaining and like, you know what I mean? And sort of bring like some charm to that side of it. Yeah. And then somebody like Carl can end the pitch with like, I've been doing animation for 20 years. This thing is important for this reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like you have all your bases covered.
Right.
You really got to like come in that bitch with
the whole team. You got
the whole team.
It's like somebody gives you an assist here, you get an assist there. It's like
all to get that dunk, bro.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
literally Wade, Bob, James. Like, that's really how pitching some shit is. Like, that's it.
Oh man.
And I was just studying that a lot. So.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's like really informative. At least somebody for me, like I'm more in the very like nerdy, just writing and creating stuff. I've gotten few and far chances to really like pitch like in a room like you have. And for me, that's very informative to hear of like how you're sort of bringing the analogy of like a comedian or like a basketball team sort of to make that play. And yeah, it's really, really good to hear that.
Yeah, bro, because that's what it is. And I think like even like and then I have like a team of people who help me write shit like Jesus and Harry. And Harry's obviously hella charismatic and he's like an actor and and Jesus is pretty charismatic too, you know what I mean? But like as like I'm gonna keep like we're gonna sit here and nerd out and write this shit. I'm not gonna hit the pitch meeting and be like, now I'm gonna say this part and just be like, blah, 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 blah. And then Jesus, now you do the same thing, and then Harry, you do the same thing. This is gonna be like,
what are you guys doing?
They're gonna be like, y'all are some little ass kids. You feel me or something? Like, it's like a little team of people who represent shit you don't represent, and then you got to think about the person you're pitching to and see like what do they want to. What who do they respect? What do they look up to?
Right.
And one thing I learned with pitching is you never know what that person's looking for. So they can latch on to something that you didn't even think was like a strong point.
For sure.
And then they're like, oh, we were actually looking for like something with football. And you're like, that's not what I was talking about, but sure, like that's great. Like that
you're like,
really,
and he catches the football, right? And then he like keeps going by the end of the pitch. They're like, we were really looking for more football content. It's like niggas like a cop or something. I guess. So see, the thing is, he does become a football player. Yeah. You gotta leave that shit open ended too.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
One. They said like the most important line of pitching is like, basically saying, if you have any thoughts, feel free to
I'm
jump
flexible,
in.
I'm open.
If you have like as you're talking, if you have any questions or any thoughts, just jump in and just tell me. And I can explain it to you. Because you can damn near just explain all that shit on the fly. Yeah. You feel me? If they jump in with a question about something and it seems like it's going down a lane, you can just mold that entire shit to really be like that, you know?
Exactly.
You got to damn near let them pitch it to themselves.
Exactly. The more you talk, the more you're giving them things they could not like.
Nah, Julian, what's been good with you, man? What you been up to, bro?
Man, just chilling. Pretty much.
Chilling?
You know what I've been up to.
Nah, man. Tell me what you've been up to, bro. Tell me what you've been up to.
You like almost every day.
I know. Exactly. I wanted you to just recap all of our awesome times, but I guess, man, fuck it.
Cut to the tape.
If you don't feel like talking about the adventures.
No. I guess they weren't, I guess they weren't fun.
Right?
I guess they weren't cool enough. You know what I mean? It's
What?
cool. I thought the times we had together was special, bro. But fuck it, man. It's okay.
See why I'm famous out now. Like, that happened during quarantine.
Thank
Like,
That's true.
That's really what I was looking for. So we good.
Actually, I do have a question about that. How is it, now that I'm talking to an artist who's released something during quarantine, how is it as like a musician, as an artist, to release an album during a time where everything's locked down? You can't tour, you can't promote it, you can't really like go to put on shows.
It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. It's pretty. It's the most selfless you'll ever be with your work.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And honestly, in a field where everything you do kind of has this self-reassurance that comes with it, right? As an artist, like if you drop a popping song, you're like, I'm popping. You know what I mean? If you drop if you do an awesome show, it's like there's so much self-assuring things in it, which is I realize I can't necessarily be mad about, but yes, it fucking sucks because you just spend all this time working on this thing. Yeah. And in quarantine, nothing really matters besides COVID-19 that's killing fucking infinity amount of people.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like everything kind of comes and goes. And you spend so long making this album and then you release it and it's sort of like is there, but you don't go out. You know what I mean? You don't go like really celebrate it. You don't go hear your music somewhere.
Right.
So it's kind of like you did it for just to do it a little bit. You know, you can't really get all those self-reassuring things that come with releasing an album. Yeah.
Right.
But that's why artists are so fucking narcissistic.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe
they need that sort of
need that thing to come back, you know? So maybe it kind of like is a necessary situation. I feel like what it's done is our allure of all these artists has sort of went like this, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because it's not like music is running our life right now.
Right.
It's kind of not. There's so many more important things that we're all as like a people sort of waking up and paying attention to instead of just that hot ass song that came out.
Right.
Like it's still a hot ass song,
Sure.
and we'll play it, but it's not like running our life kind of. So it's weird. It feels like music's importance has like taken a back seat a little bit.
I was reading, I don't remember, there was an article I read a few months ago or a few weeks ago where it said that people's music tastes have changed during quarantine, and I think it's because of that, because nobody's really going out, nobody's really going to a club, nobody's really going out to listen to music. So the kind of music that they're listening to is much different.
Way different.
Yeah,
I think the
definitely.
music. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna say because the way that they're getting that music, it's different. You know, like some of those songs that people would get, they'd be hearing them out, they'd be doing other things. Now it's like, most of the time we're like in our living rooms, just listening to it from our computers.
Right.
And you're listening to it because, like, you know what I mean? You're listening to it because, like, you want to, like you're forcefully playing it, whereas before it's being played to you.
Played to you, exactly.
So you're listening to different shit. I also think, like, as an artist, I feel like the only thing, like the type of music you would want to drop right now is that music that you only made just for you to listen to. Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of music that you made that you expect some other people to not fuck with. Yeah. That'd be the only music you're trying to drop right now, you know? Because...
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like there's really no like music machine. It feels like right now, you know.
Right.
Well, has TikTok done anything for you for like some of your music getting out more? Because a lot more people joined TikTok during the quarantine, and it's made. I mean, they say that's like a vehicle for new songs too. Has that done anything for?
Yeah, man. You know, TikTok is like they're damn near like the real that's like the real music mafia. You know, so you can't even really speak on them too much. But I'd say like just being real, like TikTok is fully like handed me like platinum singles, and it's also but like at a cost, you know what I mean? Because like TikTok has done so much for the music industry, like literally nobody was playing this song, fucking 100 million streams. This song just came out now, like a month later, 300 million streams. Like really all like the top Billboard chart songs are all TikTok smashes. But it's like they have the keys to the music industry now. So it's a little fucking weird. It's kind of like, you know, if your shit isn't booming on TikTok, it's not going to be like, you can't have no like number one ass song if it's not booming on TikTok. Yeah. And so it's like, it's kind of fucking things up a little bit. Right. You know, like, so it's done wonders. Like, I love TikTok. They've done a lot of shit for me. Like, my songs are booming because of TikTok. Yeah. Like, but But yeah, there's a lot of other niggas that are mad. You know what I mean? 'Cause they're like, I don't want to do this shit, but I guess I will, so niggas can listen to my introspective ass music. That's not gonna pop on here anyway. Like that is TikTok, bro. Like that's TikTok.
I feel like people are dancing like at gunpoint.
There's a person on the other side.
Like,
Just like crying, like I don't wanna.
There's no guarantees with TikTok, so you could be on there just dancing like a dumbass just because, nigga. Like,
Yeah.
8 views. Like, yo,
Oh,
fuck
man.
this.
Oh man. So speaking of companies with too much power, let's talk about Amazon's The Boys.
Yeah, good segue. Great segue. That was
You
good.
like that? You like that?
Segue.
You like that?
Pay your employees, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I got a movie to pitch. So have you guys all saw it, right? Did you see The Boys?
Yeah.
What did we think? Julian.
I'll let Julian.
We're gonna start
Julian,
with
kick
me.
it off.
We're gonna start with me.
The guy who's the most charismatic pitch.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Religious experience.
literally one of the best shows I've watched this entire course.
Yeah.
Facts.
The best shows, the most satisfying. I mean, we'll get to the whole thing, but definitely one of the most satisfying closers. I feel like the thing that the second season did, and I think Yusuf said he liked season 1 more, but I feel like what season 2 did was really like open up and really explain a lot of characters way better. It was like a very, very character-based season. Like the explaining of Frenchie and how it dug deeper into what's his name? Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this was a really character-driven season, and I'm really into like character-driven things like that. I mean, I love season 1, but I feel like this was like
it expanded on everybody.
it definitely expanded on the whole universe and it expanded on the characters a lot.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
So I mean, I could go more, but like if anybody else wants to jump in.
I thought it was incredible. I mean, to be such like a pioneering genre of like, I mean, there have been dark comics before.
Yeah.
But to see like a truly like, it almost feels like a Dark Horse like kind of that era.
Yeah.
Of where it's like kind of parallel to the bigger properties that we're familiar with, going like completely.
It's like a
left.
dark parody of like
Exactly.
everything that we're used to.
So we've seen that in print a lot, but this is really the first time we see that done in live action and executed properly. So I think it was incredible. Like Julian said, like the character development was super duper strong. Huey's character, I think, is such a great vehicle to drive the show forward.
Yeah.
He's like the everyman.
Yeah, he's definitely
Super,
like the eyes into
the
like
perfect like place for the audience to insert themselves and like experience it. And then Carl Urban character was good. I mean, Julian said this, and so I'm just gonna piggyback it. But like, Homelander is one of the best villains of television.
Period.
Like,
Definitely.
I think that to have like the Uberman, like Superman archetype go left, it's what Lex Luthor thinks Superman is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's what
And what Batman
it's
fears.
what everyone fears of someone with too much power coming to fruition, and it was just so dope to see that on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. Going off what you said, like The Boys really is like almost like it's like a, you know, like a parallel universe of all these things we're used to seeing and that are already ingrained into our heads, right? Like superheroes and what they represent is like so cemented in our heads from like just watching it as a child, and then watching them do all this sick, sinister shit gives me this weird feeling about power that I've never like sat there and thought about before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every supervillain with a bunch of power has just always been like, oh, but somebody stops them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then now watching The Boys, it gives me this weird relationship with power because it's like all these superheroes with the power, and it's like, oh, but no, there's nothing stops them. There's no super, you know what I mean? And like watching Huey and them have to infiltrate it from the ground up, it's just, I don't know, it's really cool. It's like the story I feel like we can relate to a lot about just like being powerless people. And there's all these things that are going on that we can't affect or change.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or seem like insurmountable, and they're having to take it down. Like when Homelander just flies, when he just gets up and flies, right? and they're all in the middle of the woods, like, oh, get the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do this
run
shit.
with
like all that, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, fuck, and you just hear this nigga, boom, and he just lands, and it's like, boom. And they all look at each other and I think we are dead. And you as the viewer, you're like, you're dead.
Yeah, they're fucking dead.
Yeah. Like, you can't stop this nigga. And that's like that's kind of what evil feels like a little bit, especially the older I get. And that's why I think it's cool to be like a superhero show for like adults a little bit. It's like the older I get, this is my relationship with fucking like evil corporations, the government, bro. A bunch of fucked up shit that we watch on the news and we're like, how do we stop that?
Yeah.
We don't know. That's what it feels like. Homelander feels like that to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
well
it's like, I don't know, this shit was very cool. This is like one of my favorite TV shows. Like I saw in the quarantine too.
Right.
It's funny what you were saying about feeling helpless with some of these heroes because there's nobody to stop it. While I was watching it this season, there's like that little glimmer of hope though, in terms of like the fact that they're made. They're not necessarily like Superman, for example. He's an alien. Yeah. Like there's only one thing that can kill him, and it's kryptonite. Here, it's like, oh, these are just regular humans that they've injected with this, like, drug, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, so there has to be an antidote, and so that's the thing that it's like a thorough line for me throughout this whole series, where it's like, there's got to be an antidote at some point. And so it's like Homelander, as fucked up as he is, and I get that same feeling. Like, how are these guys not dead? How is Butcher not dead yet? He could have killed them so many times. He could have killed all these guys. So like, but the thing is just like, you're watching it and you're just like, oh, like Homelander's gonna get his at some point. Yeah. So I don't feel like that kind of like, even though when like you see him like burning people and like splitting them apart, you're like, fuck, how are the people gonna get out of this? But there is that little like glimmer of hope for me whenever I've seen this series. I agree with Julian. The way that this season expanded on the first season is incredible. Huey's like a great character. He's actually gotten better for me because like at first he seemed kind of like, oh, you're a human, you're a skinny little white kid, what are you gonna do? But the way he shows how much heart he has throughout the entire thing, especially like when he went in by himself to go rescue Starlighter. It was so good because it was like he risked his fucking life to go do this. He knew he was gonna get blown apart or something, and he did it. I like that. I did like, and I know we're going to get into this more, but I did like how they started to explore history a lot more and how kind of weave through history these heroes are, or this company Vought is, and how it parallels to our current reality of like an evil that happened during World War II is still sort of permeating our society kind of thing.
1,000%.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And like with the whole, like with, what's her name? Stormfront. How she parallels like these like alt-right people that we have now in the news. Like it was just so crazy. It's like, damn, imagine one of these motherfuckers with superpowers. And that's where the fear came in too.
It definitely parodies a lot of real life. Mm-hmm. Like, 'cause especially with like the new, like even with the news bites, the character that we're gonna get into, I'm sure. But I can't think of her name, but the congresswoman.
Oh yeah, I forget.
I can't remember her name, but like she's basically
AOC.
She's basically AOC, so it literally parodied a lot of real life things. Even to where I don't remember if it was like episode 6, where the beginning of the episode where the dude was watching all this news propaganda stuff, and then
that was a good opener.
And then he went into the
and shot the guy
and shot the dude. That was like a complete.
That's very real.
He was like getting radicalized real. And everything.
And even like how Stormfront uses memes to like manipulate the masses.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know if you know, but that shit happens.
That shit is real.
It definitely happens. Sorry, not to cut you off. Going back to what he's saying about like, what if somebody like it's like really like an ancient evil still like kind of making its way into our thing, and what if one of those people were a superhero?
Yeah,
they did have superpowers.
Yeah,
and they do.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
like that same kind of thinking that Stormfront holds on to from where she's from is passed down from person to person to person. Sure. And the people who, like, not saying all people in power are evil, but there's evil people in power for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and they are doing things like it's so accurate to what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think not to be a cynic, but I feel like the other properties that are a lot more happy-go-lucky, or especially they feel that way when compared to this property. where, in my personal opinion, like that's not how people would act. They would act like this. They would exploit it. They would, try to make as much money off it as possible. They would, Homeland being like a super narcissist and just like
Sociopath.
like being in love with himself. The whole scene with boy that like could shapeshift.
That was crazy. That was
weird.
crazy. I was like, nah. Man. Like,
seriously.
I had to go to bed after that. I was like, bro.
Same. I had to turn it off. I was like, I can't do this.
And like
the funny shit was him on top of that big ass building whacking it like,
at the very end.
I can do whatever I want.
You know what? That's the crazy. I thought that was such a great way to end the season because this guy has the powers of a god. And like, what does he decide to do? Just jerk off on the side of a building.
Because I think that's a great commentary on like having the powers of the god and having like the wisdom or the foresight is completely different.
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
So when you give power to a human, i.e., politics or corporations or billions of dollars, that doesn't take them from something that far from what we are. Yeah. It just gives them hella power.
Honestly, mentally, there's probably people with less power that are like further ahead. You know what I mean? Than like, honestly, I feel like sometimes when you get power, and obviously I think that's what Homelander represents in a great way, is like having unlimited power usually gives you unlimited reasons to be narcissistic and do dumb shit like whack off on the side of a building. You know what I mean?
And it's also completely heartbreaking because we know a lot of people who have everything and they're super sad.
Yeah,
they don't have friends and they don't know how to talk to people and they have no one to relate to. And I think that's why he was so excited with Stormfront.
I think another thing, what always to me makes a great villain is when they, aside from when they're, their goals aren't completely wrong, even though Homelanders are completely wrong. But when the characters show like a side that you could be like, you could feel sorry for them in certain parts, and in certain parts.
When was that for you?
There's been
in the boys or
definitely there's parts in the show where you, in a way, you feel sorry for him, like,
when he
but you don't want to.
Where he talks about like when he was raised by all those doctors and stuff.
Exactly.
I did like that
scene. I was like, wow, this is a side of Homelander where you almost feel like, you feel sorry for him, like, this is why he's like that. Or the scene where he's in the hallway and he's going through all these different types of emotions when people are like hating him. And like one, he's like, oh, I can fix this. And then that one part, it almost looks like he's crying. And then he's just like, all right, I'm okay. And he walks through the door. I thought that scene was like amazing because I was like, man, like he's really going through it. And I feel I'm not supposed to feel bad for this terrible character, but like I kind of feel bad, like, because you get why he's like that, because he's like, though his weakness, he has no weaknesses. His weakness is that he wants to be loved.
He wants to be loved by everybody.
He wants to be loved by everybody.
Wait, have they just not revealed that?
I got a question for you, because you told me Stormfront's goal was this, like, she's trying to dominate the world and like kind of take over for like the white race, right? She's on some fucking whack ass lame shit. That's why that bitch burned to death. Okay, whatever. So that's her vibe. And then I was like, well, what's fucking Homelander's vibe? And you're like, he just wants to be loved. But I feel like they had this huge narrative of like Homelander really being the one that wants to push the button on the superheroes being in the military or whatever, right? Do you think that makes sense? Like, what do you think Homelander's plan is? Do you think he wants to dominate the world? I don't. There's some military shit. Honestly, like, what do you think he wants to do?
I think that's like he's pushing that because that's Vaught's goal. Vaught wants soups in the military, so he's like, yeah, I want that, and I want it to be like.
So you think? Question: like Vaught and him obviously have just like a fucking major beef. You know what I mean?
Especially at the end of this,
huge beef. And I'm really, from the beginning of the thing, he's like, fuck them. He keeps trying to tell the superheroes we don't need them.
Right.
Do you think any of his goals are an intent? And this is like, we don't know this, but do you think his intentions at all are like trying to still be on some superheroes kind of acting on their own free will and taking over the world? Or what do you think he's trying to do?
I think here's the thing. I agree with what you're saying, that it doesn't seem like he has a clear goal, but I think he's just like a little boy who wants to feel powerful.
Right.
And I think they really hit you on the fucking nose with the whole like sucking on that girl's boobs and like having like getting breastfed is like they really hit it like on the nose with that. But it's just like, I think that's what it is. He's just like a kid who wants to feel powerful, and he realizes that Vought is using him as a pawn. Exactly. And that's why he doesn't do anything to Giancarlo Esposito, because he knows that he controls him. Without all his power, he like Giancarlo can still get to him, like can really like poke at him.
Completely agree. And I think it also plays to like the fact that to a degree in real life and in this, everyone thinks they're a good person.
Yeah.
So I think what you said was very true, is that part of him thinks he is a hero.
Yeah.
And even if I don't think he sees himself as like the bad guy, like trying to hurt people or do whatever. He has justifications and motives for every bad thing he does. And he's like in his own head, I think part of him still wants to like save the world in whatever narrative that is. It's just gone so left that he kind of has to keep fighting.
Because
homie has a fucking really tough job. Homie that has to fucking keep Homelander in check, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
There's
he's
no
very
amount
cool.
of money
He's
you
very
can
cool
pay
about it.
somebody to. That's like the top paying job. Like there's like,
to like
you know what I
argue with
mean?
Superman.
Fucking finding cures for deadly diseases. Making sure an evil, pissed off Superman doesn't just like fly off the handle, nigga. That's like way up there.
But I feel like there's definitely some type of like he has some type of other the Esposito. I don't.
What is it though? Because
I mean,
we don't even know.
We don't
like,
know it, but
why
I'm
the
sure
fuck-
he has a red button of like, okay,
That's what I think.
If Homelander gets out of line, he has something to like be like, all right, release the real thing.
All right, so look,
like,
I got another question for y'all.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got another question for y'all, okay? Because the way we're talking about Homelander is so insane. Like, bro is so outrageously strong in a world full of superheroes.
Yeah.
Is he that intense? This is how I feel too, because I feel like the entire 7, like a lot of them are like, fucking, this guy's evil. At this point, there's like 5 solid superheroes who all equally have strong reasons to want to kill Homelander.
Yeah.
his whole team, pretty much.
Yeah.
His whole team, damn
Yeah.
near. He's that badass that they couldn't just fucking
Pack
click
him
up
out.
and pack him out. Like, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, how come?
That's why I think he's being used for another purpose. Because I'm thinking, I thought the same thing. I'm like, he can't be more powerful than all these people. Like
All of them put together?
Yeah, exactly. There
Like,
has-
is May really that trash?
Yeah.
Like,
First of all, the Deep is a loser.
the Deep is a fucking loser. But I'm saying, like the Deep couldn't, like, the Deep, like, fucking A-Train, like, all these niggas together.
I actually wonder if whoever, well, I guess we know that it's Congress lady, but Head Exploder, can she pop his head?
I thought the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
I was just thinking that. I was
Obviously,
wondering that
she
too. Yeah.
could, because I mean, do we want to jump into that now? Like,
Yeah, we can do
I
it.
mean, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm skipping points and shit.
No,
I'm
it's all
skipping
good.
No,
talking
it's
points.
fine. It's fine. But yeah, I do think that the congresswoman chick, she could, because if you go back and look at the episode, I forgot what number it is, but when Homelander flies down, when she's having the like little
Like a rally.
the rally in
Yeah.
front of Vought, and we know what she's able to do. Like
Nah,
after the fact,
yeah.
we know what she's able to do.
Yeah.
She's keeping her eyes on him the entire time he is talking. Like,
Damn,
and
didn't
just in
notice
case.
that.
she
Did you
has-
rewatch?
Yes.
Oh, of course
Like,
you
she's
did.
keeping his eyes. She's keeping her eyes on him like the entire time.
Her name's Newman, by the way.
Yes.
Her last name is Newman.
Congresswoman Newman.
Yeah.
She's keeping her eyes on him. Like when he flies down and she hands him the mic, she's literally just watching him the whole time. Like, all right, I'm just, just in case I
Yeah.
have to explode this guy's
Yeah.
head right now.
I
So-
think to your point, I think the show in general does such a good job of like the contrast between how powerful and strong and how like measly everybody else is. Like when you talk
Yeah.
about like him flying and then they're like carrying a box,
Like, oh,
trying to drive like a Hyundai
It's like,
Sonata,
yeah.
Nah, and this going back to the first season, but the part that made Homelander so turned up is when these niggas are underground now. Like when they first have to go underground because they
Yeah.
fucked up and Homelander's after them.
Yeah.
There was like 2 seasons. I mean two episodes like back to back where it's just them hiding from Homelander.
Yeah.
And it's like the other like shut the fuck up. They're like, this nigga can hear everything. And he like has supersonic
Yeah.
hearing and like somebody sneezes and he's
right,
like,
right.
I'm like, bro, like, how? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, this
Yeah.
is how, like, bro, like, so unstoppable, bro.
So you know what's funny? I
Like, they're down there, like, shut the fuck, and then, like, or maybe it's the black dude.
No,
that
it was
is, like,
it was like the
Mother's
first
Milk.
2 episodes where they were like they had the
Oh, it was this
invisible-
season.
No,
No, it was the first season.
It was last
Oh,
season,
okay,
the first
okay,
2
yeah.
episodes when they had translucent in the cage
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were like, yo,
Yeah.
like
yeah, and they're like, shut the And he just like, and this motherfucker's flying at Mach speed, bro. Like, he can do anything.
Yeah.
This guy can do anything. And I'm just like, really well, I was gonna ask something else. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the congresswoman, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay. If she is
Literally,
staring
boom.
at him,
Boom.
boom, right? She's staring at Homelander.
Yeah.
She is having a rally attacking Vought, right? Really having Vought on its heels.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does she work for?
She's
'Cause
working
it can't
for
be
Vought.
Vought.
She's working
She's
for
working
Vought.
for Vought.
She's working
So
for Vought.
just
At the
in
end, they
case,
were-
well, the
yeah.
spoilers to anyone. I mean, this whole thing is spoilers now.
Yeah.
But look,
Why would she? But question though, why? Because I know obviously she stopped Vought from being taken down in the last episode, but why the fuck would she be campaigning against Vought in the first place?
I think it's just to keep up appearances.
yeah. So
I think that's what it is.
and
right?
it's like
She was like damn near going at Vought before people hated Vought.
no, exactly. But see, this is what it's doing. It's basically Vought playing both sides so they don't lose. So it's like, okay, we have this congresswoman who looks like she's against Vought, but she honestly works for us, but nobody knows that. But it's going to lead up to where I think what it's leading up to for next season is she's going to try and get into office. Because again, like Vought's plan is they want a soup in the White House.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get her somehow to be vice president, president in some capacity or way.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, yeah, let's have her on the other side of things, but it's still us.
Yeah.
Like, so it's still, we're winning still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's
And
right.
I'm just trying to dive into like the intricacies of like the issues they were battling, right? And why she would be creating some of them issues, and then they would be stamping that issue out, and then she'd be on the side trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like she was creating fires for them as they were putting it out, which I'm guessing maybe in my head is Vought hasn't taken one L this entire season. And
No.
all of this controversy has only been working towards them creating more fear in order to speed up the process of getting superheroes in there.
Exactly.
I don't know,
And
you know?
I think as far as like parallels go, I definitely think that happens in real life.
For sure.
Where people create problems just to fix them, just to come out like a superhero. Like I always think about V for Vendetta in that model of just like create this horrific thing where a bunch of kids die so that everyone can be afraid and then we can come through and like act like we saved you.
Right.
And
Y'all think that that's 9/11? Are we have any 9/11 conspiracies over here?
It's subtly.
We can turn into Joe Rogan podcast right now.
My bad.
I'm just kidding. That's all good.
when stuff gets scary, people want control and they'll give up control quick
Yeah.
for a sense of safety. And I think
sure.
that's what Vought is kind of trying to play both sides. I definitely what you said was a good point, and I feel like I wonder if they're gonna go this route, but like an
what part?
antidote.
Oh, the antidote?
Because I think I would actually for season 3, we are skipping around, but I think it would be dope to watch Homelander become human and maybe go back to being Homelander later, but like an episode where
that would
he's
be
like
crazy.
super humbled and like
He gets his ass beat at like a bar.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
Yeah.
You suck.
So what I think it's going to probably do, and this is like one of the only things I do know from the comics, is that the boys eventually get the compound V, and some of them become like get powers.
way.
Yeah.
They definitely hinted at it, like when they went into that.
And I think
research
they
facility.
kind of hinted at it in the show when they visit the hospital and they're
Yeah.
testing
Yeah.
the new version of Compound V that could be used on adults.
Yeah.
So they're kind of hinting at like, oh, there's a stable version that could be used on adults. I think it's going to lead to where like some of the boys end up getting.
who do you think will get powers?
I think it would be funny if Huey gets them.
Yeah.
I think that would be like the thing to do is like give
Yeah.
the weakest member the superpowers.
The superpowers.
And then he could squabble Homelander.
I think they're all gonna get, if they all got them and had their own
It would level-
unique
it would
powers
definitely
that kind
level-
of played
Yeah.
off of what
Of
they
their
already
personalities.
Yeah, their own
That'd be
personality,
fire.
kind of like played off their own superpowers they already have.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? That'd be like
It would definitely level the
tight.
playing field. But I think that's what's going to happen next season is like the playing field will be leveled a little bit. I mean, it kind of already is. You
Getting
see
there
the
because Vought is, the 7 is like losing.
the Seven
Yeah.
is losing. A lot of the members of the Seven are now working with the boys. So it's
Black
like,
Noir is allergic to coconut.
yeah.
Oh, he
Did-
died. Is he dead?
Is he
no,
dead or
no.
is he
The director or the showrunner said that he is not dead. He will be back.
He was able to get to his EpiPen.
Something happened, but
she
he
kicked it. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yo, but
He was-
I was gonna say, did you notice?
Put
Have
him
you?
in a chokehold, stuff the almonds going to shit, watched him choke, kick this thing.
That was such a bully move.
Like,
Have you noticed that like every member of the Seven has like one kind of issue? So like you have Black Noir, who is allergic to nuts. You have the Deep, who's like a sexual deviant, sex offender. You have what's his name? A-Train, who's like a drug addict.
Yeah.
You have Maeve, who's sort of like, I would say she has like anxiety or something. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think like what kind of issue she
Maeve
has.
I've had anxiety too if Homelander was just bullying my life for decades.
That's how I gotta go to
dude.
work.
Yeah.
Like I've had bad managers before at regular jobs.
If my manager could fly at Mach speed and hear me talking shit about him, and like, oh my god,
And could just
because they're all to your point, they're all still people.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
what was cool that when we found out that they, were made. It's like, okay, well, he is a drug addict. You know what I mean, bro? Is a sexual deviant.
Yeah.
And fucking Maeve is like randomly like all.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do in this
Yeah.
moment, so I'm just gonna do the wrong thing.
I
And
thought it was
fucking
super interesting that like the Deep is self-conscious about his gills. Like
Yeah, that was-
Oh, yeah.
that was like a,
He has
and then
body
when they-
issues,
Yeah,
yeah.
he has like body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
and, like weird.
because
like,
of fucking Homelander. Homelander was
because
like,
of
fucking
Homelander,
weird
he's
like,
though. Like
fucking
when
cover
like
that
it was
shit
like
up.
Talking?
Patton Oswalt's voice
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out of them.
that was Patton Oswalt?
Yeah.
That's tight.
that was
better
yeah,
cover
they
up
was
those
because of
fucking
Homelander. I didn't
gills.
really realize that.
Yeah, he's like cover up,
Your gills are showing me.
and it's like literally like a little bit.
Fucking disgusting.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, he got stabbed or something,
Yeah.
and it's showing. He's like, oh.
Yeah, I remember.
That whale getting torpedoed by a fucking yacht was out of pocket.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
how he
wild.
just like stood on it like, yeah, I blocked him, and Butcher's like, fuck you.
yeah.
Yeah. No. What do you guys think is gonna aside from what I just said? What do you think? What are you guys expecting or want to see from like the third season?
I like the dip into history. Like I really like the whole like, because I'm also watching Lovecraft Country at the same time that I was watching this.
same.
So I really appreciate this sort of like different view of history that these shows are giving us. So I thought it was kind of interesting that they dipped into this like racist history of Vought and like how it actually came about. So I definitely want to see how much more involved they've been in history. Like I want to see more exploration of like, how they probably were involved in like Jim Crow or just something like with a racist history of America and how these
Yeah, I mean, I think
supers
with,
have like,
with Watchmen,
Yeah.
with Lovecraft, with
Yeah.
this, I love this like intersectional like genre blending, where you have history, you have superhero stuff, you have period pieces with sci-fi, you have magic, like there's no rules. And I think for the longest time we were just following rules for the sake of following them because we wanted, when we're pitching something, to have something digestible. Boom, this is a football piece. This is a sci-fi piece. And I think the era of like dumbing it down for either the executives or your audience is kind of over.
Yeah, yeah. People are forced to like watch shit that they probably would never watch. You know what I mean?
And because of streaming, you will find your audience. It's
Yeah.
not like it's on ABC where like people are like, "What? This is weird."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You'll put it somewhere, and the people that like it will
We'll
all
just
find
talk about
you.
it.
They'll
Yeah.
find you.
Yeah.
And I think
and it contributes to the conversation.
Exactly.
Like, and I love, that's one of the things that I love that like now streaming services, instead of like just dumping all the episodes all at once, they're releasing them weekly because they understand like how one episode is going to drive the conversation for a week. And that's what like Lovecraft Country's been doing. I know we're talking about The Boys, but Lovecraft Country is like, right now it's like neck and neck with The Boys as like my favorite show of the year. But I like that. I like that they're understanding that shows, if they drive the conversation, it's a success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for the third season, I want to see, well, there's a couple things I want to see. One, I actually want to get more into Butcher's past, and I think they gave us some, but it's also, Butcher still isn't fully explained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get the anger and like you know what I mean? His wife got fucking raped by Homelander and it ruined his life. There's a lot of shit to be angry about.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not. But I think like his
But who
relationship
he
with his
is.
dad and who he is and his brother that they mentioned, I feel like there's still so much that needs to be worked out.
I feel like a lot of that is going to be unpacked because I feel like them mentioning his brother like out of nowhere for like a couple episodes. I was like, I feel like that's going to come back around in some
Yeah, like
way.
what did his dad do to his brother? What did his dad do to both of them? And then how did his brother
I feel
turn
like he
out?
just
And like, because the
beat
rest of this nigga's family is all like really on some kind of like white suburban like coming for a cookie shit. You know,
Yeah.
being Butcher, and I'm like, this ain't making sense
Yeah.
right now. So
And
I need
also,
you to like.
He has like a military, CIA, whatever background. So like, what's that story? How did he meet
Mother's
M&M,
Milk?
Mother's
Yeah.
Milk, and how did they were they soldiers together? What
There, I feel like
I'm sure
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stories that they kind of opened up, but didn't explain. Like the thing about Mother's Milk's dad. Like, why did his dad just die? Why was his dad fighting Vought so hard to die like that anyway? And then like the thing at the end where like Huey started mentioning about his mom's alive and. But she's not dead. She just left. So I'm like, that's definitely gonna come back around in some way or somehow.
Yeah, we gotta know about that. And I also really, 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 really bad. I want to see this motherfucker Homelander, right? Get into a legitimate fight.
Yeah.
Right? I want to see. We've seen it from every other superhero.
Yeah.
Every other soup has had an actual showdown.
Yeah.
But they've done superhero shit and the fight can end real fast, right?
Yeah.
But this motherfucker Homelander has not fought a soul.
Yeah.
Not one time out of the 2 seasons.
He's like the One Punch Man of.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's like one punch
just
man.
He
lasers
stands
everybody.
around and like
But
just
like,
lasers
can
people.
we
Yeah.
just see where is Homelander and where are all these other superheroes? Because right now it's like the distance they're putting between Homelander and like everybody else is so outrageously.
wide.
I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna? What are you gonna do here?
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna close this gap? Like, how the fuck is it ever gonna make sense that Homelander fought anybody and did not die?
Yeah.
And if they're gonna do it in some really weird way where he got him just the right, almost like Game of Thrones, right? Like. It's so insane. There's a fucking infinity bodies. They keep coming back to life. You kill him, and then she jumps out of nowhere and stabs him.
Yeah.
In the moment, fucking epic.
Yeah.
Loved it. I was like, yes.
But now
I don't want to see that again. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
want to
I
see
don't
this
want
nigga Huey
Huey to,
run up
like-
on him with the
with a needle.
with the antidote and get him, and then somebody stabs him at the right time.
antidote,
It's like that's how you killed him. Like,
Yeah. You want to see like a legitimate Dragon Ball Z style fight.
I just want to see like
between
is anybody
Homelander.
else in the entire world
Even
powerful like that?
I want to see it
And
between him
not,
and Butcher.
then how did this person
that-
become that one specific powerful person?
This is why I think the leader of the CEO of Vought, there's a contingency plan. I think it's someone stronger or something stronger that he
Locked
has.
up somewhere or some
something.
shit?
I feel like there's no reason he should be this chill and calm about just Homelander coming to like argue with him in his office. And it's like, I don't care.
That's
Like,
why I think it's this. That's why I
He
think
should
it's
not be
that one.
chill. And Homelander should have just lasered this nigga.
Exactly. So
What the
I-
fuck would have happened?
That
They would've
girl-
locked
that-
Homelander up?
Or if one of the heroes, if this is a true parallel, I don't know if they're going to do this, but I'm kind of rambling. If this is evil Superman, if one of the boys becomes like a good Doomsday.
Oh
And we
wow.
have like a huge like hulking monster.
like
who
like
can handle-
Black Noir or something, because he's not really explained, but he seems
No, no,
stronger.
I'm talking-
No,
He
but like
seems
one of the
pretty
Talking
boys.
about like Frenchie or Huey.
Oh,
or whatever,
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of him just being strong, like becoming like a
big and
monster.
stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a monster.
Yeah.
But
So-
a good monster.
Doomsday Dark Side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing that the executive producer of the show said is next season. The one thing that they've already said about the next season is they are showing they have this Jensen Ackles. I don't know how to say his name, but he's
Yeah.
He's playing a character named Soldier Boy. He's gonna. They've already
Soulja Boy?
His name is, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
They have a
had
character.
to.
He's literally.
I didn't
We
know how
needed
to-
that one little instrument from fucking Fruity Loops. The dun.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know how to not do that.
So
Yeah.
he's playing a character named Soldier Boy from the comic books, and basically Soldier Boy is like a parody of Captain America.
Oh.
So he's their version of Captain America. He came from like the
Brooklyn.
the World War II time.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
And he was frozen in time, and he's supposed to be like a real.
Oh, that's cool. I like
but
that.
He has a shield and everything, and he has some strength. So maybe this is the character that maybe we'll see him fight.
So they're gonna dip back.
That
into
nigga
history
needs to
again,
get
which is
punched
great.
by somebody, and we need to see what it does.
No, but you know,
Like I just want to see what it does. I've been waiting for so long. I just want to see what happens.
You kind of got you didn't get a fight, but you got a very violent sex scene with somewhat equal
Yeah,
power.
true.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
True.
We
yeah,
did.
true.
That was kind of that fight.
Yeah, true.
Stormfront fucked
Yeah.
him up.
Yeah.
So boom, Stormfront fucks him up, right? All three, just the three like soups, the three girl soups, right?
They jumped her.
all beat the shit out of
jumped her.
Exactly.
You're telling me these niggas could not equally try and beat the shit out of fucking Homelander?
I feel like
I think it's
or maybe they're
also,
playing on like he has mental control over them.
I think so. I think
but it's still far.
Yeah, I
feel like-
think they're also scared of him as well.
I don't think Stormfront can really like fuck up Homelander.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were both super powered led to like the violence.
They fucked her up though. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
It beat the shit out of her. And I just feel like I don't know. I feel like
and the
there's a
camera
certain
kept
side of
rolling,
things
which
where,
was
like,
funny.
I loved that. That was
Yeah.
and you know what was funny? It was like such a it was like a joke towards
Avengers.
like all the Avengers scenes where they put the girl characters together and you know like
Girls
they're
get
like
it
done.
and then they kept hinting the girls get it done thing the
Girls
entire
get it done.
time.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that scene. Yeah.
And like they really did it at the end, but they did it. I mean, even though I liked the, I mean, it was kind of cheesy, like the end game scene where they did all the girls together.
I liked it too.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved
I
it.
wasn't mad.
But
You know what it reminded me of? You remember that movie, Death Proof? The
Yes.
Tarantino movie where they beat up Kurt Russell at the very end?
yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Like the three girls just beating the shit out of the bad guy.
But
Yeah.
like they were trying to play off of that. They were trying to play
Yeah.
off the end game scene like that.
Girls, get it done.
But no, back the Soldier
definitely
Boy
got it.
thing is, you know, they're bringing him in is because like, you know, the Seven is pretty much depleted. Like Noir is in whatever in a coma. The Stormfront character is dead, and she has been found out as a Nazi. So they're like, oh, we got to bring this all-American
guy in
guy in now into the team. And so I think that's going to be another butting heads thing with Homelander because he's going to be like
he's the American
yeah,
guy.
he's-
No,
he's
I'm
like-
American.
And they said like he was the Homelander before Homelander, so they're bringing
Okay.
him in.
Dog,
Can he fly, though?
I didn't know about
don't know.
this.
I don't know.
But you telling me about Soldier Boy
You-
made me really excited about season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
And the dude playing him, he looks like Captain
this?
Jensen Ackles.
He was.
He's in that show Supernatural.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
the short-haired one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he's playing Soldier Boy.
That makes sense.
You know what I found funny? I during that episode where they go to that hospital, where they're testing
see
it
him?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see him, Kyle?
Huh?
The Jensen Ackles dude.
Yeah, I just saw it, bro, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely
that's
looks
gonna
hella
be
fucking like Soldier Boy.
Where,
Super American.
so
I
where they-
can't wait for Soldier Boy to see that.
So back to what Yusuf was saying about like this show being sort of like a parody of like what we know. When they went to that hospital and they had that guy who was who played Iceman
Yeah.
in X-Men, I felt like it was almost like a shot at X-Men because like
It was another parody move because
Yeah.
like dude played Iceman in the X-Men movies. Now they're
and
playing
Fire
like
guy.
the
Yeah.
fire guy,
Yeah.
and he's doing the same things with the lighter. And
Yeah.
all that.
Oh, yo, what was good with homie talking about his dad when he set himself on fire? I wanted my dad to see me. I wanted my dad to be here.
I think what it was is because what he was saying was, because he was saying like,
oh, he wanted to be a part of the Seven, but he
He wanted
couldn't.
to be a part of the
part of the
seven,
Seven.
but he was specifically talking about like making his dad.
he
proud.
wanted to make his dad proud because he didn't want to just be seen as like, because he got kicked out of the Seven.
Yeah,
That's right.
Took his statue
They
down.
took- and
Yeah,
they
he,
took-
but he was saying like he was expecting his dad to like be there. Or
No,
some
he was
shit?
just saying he wanted to make his dad proud, like,
Oh, okay.
and, like all together, like
Yeah,
like I'm ending my life here, but
The
I.
scene where they were all laughing at his costume was so good.
Yeah. That
was hella funny,
The
look.
congresswoman was like,
Yeah.
and he's like, what?
Yeah, it's very stabbed.
Like, all right, Merlin, relax.
Nah,
Oh man.
yeah.
I'm kind of glad they cleaned up that that like cult storyline.
Yeah, they cleaned
With
that
the
up. It's done.
fresca?
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think
it's done.
I think the
I think
cult
it's
is
done.
I mean, they blew up dude's head at the end.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck was his purpose? It's so small.
I mean, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad they ended it.
It was a
'cause
little side
it didn't go
story,
anywhere.
but it didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
That'd be real waste of time, in my opinion. To be real, like it kind of got bro back into the Seven, but
It
didn't.
did. It got him back.
Like the
into-
main purpose for that was getting deep back into the Seven and getting those like Nazi records that they had.
Yeah,
Probably,
That's,
yeah.
I
That's
think that was the
yeah.
whole bring. That's what brought it back into.
Because they
like,
did say that Stormfront was like a
she was a member of it before. Yeah, so
So
I
she was
think
a member of that church thing.
exactly.
Oh,
She
okay.
said it to.
okay, yeah.
She said it to A Train before. She was
Oh,
like,
okay.
she was like, oh, I was a part of the church before they started letting in anybody.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
You remember?
Say that shit.
She like the A train. Like,
Yeah, she was like,
anybody.
See, man, for me, bro, if I had superpowers, bro, this is not going down. You know what I mean? Like if I had superpowers, bro, and somebody says anything spicy to me, we're scrapping instantly.
For real.
And like how she murked, the superhero girl that doesn't talk. You know what I mean? What's her? I forget her name.
The girl.
The female.
That's what they call her?
Yeah, they call it the female.
The female.
They killed her brother.
Yeah.
Stormfront killed her brother.
Killed her brother like
Yeah.
it was a fucking
Took his fucking
like
hands
slice,
off.
like taking some pizza or something.
That was
bro. Like
crazy.
smoked him.
Yeah.
I'm wondering too, like, you know, I just wish I could really, you know, like it's easy, like probably one of the coolest things to do with superheroes is talk about, oh no, but this person's like the most powerful mutant, and this person's here. You can't rank these motherfuckers at all until you see him get down and she tears his hands off. So now I'm looking at the other girl like, how lit can you be? Because we were supposed to be mad afraid of your brother, and he got his shit pushed in like so fast. So I'm like wondering like how like
I actually think,
how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say like these other terrorists out there, right, or the other superheroes, like how strong are they? And you know,
I actually think this show does a better job at those scales because I think a lot of other superhero shows are very forgiving of getting hurt when that person's power has nothing to do with that. So if someone has like hands that do stuff or eyes that do stuff,
I feel you.
We tend to kind of assume they're also impervious to shit. So they'll like a car will get blown up and they'll fly across the freeway and be fine. Where it's like your power isn't that. Your
power is your
eyes.
hands move.
So
Shit.
so your hands should be normal, and I think this show kind of amplifies that.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
this
oh,
is
your
fucking-
hands do this?
Yeah.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
that was nuts. I
Yeah.
felt so bad. Oh, the other one I felt hella bad about is when she's like, yeah, he's gonna be like the first, you know, like visually impaired member.
Oh my god.
God, yes, dude. That was crazy.
If I do this.
Oh, it's like, I was like, bro, that's so fucked up.
That
But yeah, you're
was-
right. It makes it more like
I
true. Like, yeah, bro,
forgot
your-
about that. That
Your
oh
power
my
is
god.
you fucking use electricity and shit. Like,
And if you
I
watch
should be able to
all the
snap your
other-
arms off and then you don't do shit no more.
All
you
the
know?
other shows are like, no matter what if I could fly and I have wings or whatever, like, why did you just take an explosion on the chin? Like,
Yeah.
be that
You should not
normal.
be able to piece up an explosion, nigga. You have wings.
I feel like that writer's room talks a lot about like power scale. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
how
that must be a
strong-
fun writer's room.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
probably
Oh my
so
God.
tight, man. Superhero shows, man. Making a superhero show like this has to be literally the funnest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one more topic. I don't know how far we can get into it, but do you guys want to talk a little bit about the multiverse?
All the
Yeah.
spider stuff. And,
That's going down, yeah.
yeah, we can.
Take
it away.
You want me to take it away?
I'll just.
I don't know. I don't even know how to even start it because like what's
Okay,
the
fine, I'll
new?
go. Here
Yeah,
I
go
go.
ahead,
Go ahead.
Julian.
Get it.
Set it up,
So,
Julian.
Basically, MCU Phase 4 is pretty much going all multiverse. It's gonna be. I mean, I feel like DC's about to do it too, but I don't want to talk about them.
One at a time. One at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going all multiverse. We're starting off with WandaVision. WandaVision is gonna basically set up a parallel universe. I'm not sure what's exactly is happening, but it seems like she's going into something in her head.
Yeah.
And she's creating her
Yeah.
own universe. And then Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, is. Wait, Spider-Man comes out before that, right?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Yes.
I think Spider-Man
it?
comes out.
Okay.
So basically, they just announced that Spider-Man is going to have Jamie Foxx in it from the older Spider-Man.
That was the first announcement,
That was
right?
the first announcement that Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Electro again from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie, which was not good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange will be in this in Spider-Man 3.
Which just further sets up that there might be a
further
multiverse.
sets up the whole Spider-Verse multiverse thing. There's rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew
Garfield. Yeah.
will be
Are gonna
back.
come back, yeah.
Supposedly be
Yeah.
coming back as their Spider-Mans from their movies.
I think that's the news that has everybody hyped
that's
up.
pretty much it. Yeah.
It's so epic.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
incredible.
So in the books and in the comics, they basically the multiverse is like a huge thing in the books where it's like different alternate universes of different types of characters.
Mm-hmm.
The Spider-Verse is its like own separate thing where in every universe there's a different type of Spider-Man.
Which we've gotten already. The good thing is that it's already been set up for us
Right.
because of Enter the Spider-Verse or whatever. Like we know that exists. It's a mainstream, like it's mainstream knowledge now because of
Yeah.
Miles and all that stuff. So I feel like because we've been set up for that already in cartoon form, it's going to make it even more palpable for us to see it in the MCU. I
Right.
feel.
And then just with that Spider-Man movie, they also another way they're setting up this big multiverse thing is they have dude from, I don't know his name, Jensen. No. I can't remember his name right now, but dude from Lovecraft Country is playing.
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors is playing
Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror,
Yeah.
which is he's a huge multiverse villain.
Yeah.
He basically
really?
Time traveler.
basically a time traveler who goes and conquers different universes.
He's like the next. He's like the next big bad for,
Bro, that's
for the
a
universe.
job right there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Somebody asks you, what do you do? Oh, I make rap songs. What do you do? I conquer different universes, not just one.
Not just I conquered the universe.
Yeah, not just I conquered the universe. I've conquered a couple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Thursday, I
saying?
conquered a universe.
Like, how do you even conquer a city, bro? Like conquering multiple universes.
And so he's going to be in Ant-Man 3. And if you go back and look at Ant-Man 2, when Hank Pym was saving his wife in there, you see this little pocket kingdom looking thing in the background, which is they've said that is one of the universes.
What's it called? Like the Nanoverse or something? Or
Yeah, it's something.
Well, that sounds like an easier one to conquer.
Yeah, they said they said that
Nanoverse conquered.
They said that's
Right.
that was a hint at Kang, and that was one of his universes that he already rules.
I don't know a lot about the character, but I'm really excited about Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
I'm like a fan. Outside of like Lovecraft and Last Black Man in San Francisco is one of my favorite movies of last year. Of the year it came out.
yeah, it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was on our list on our last
Got you. Yeah, that's what I
December podcast. Yeah,
and he's killing Lovecraft, and I think it's gonna be dope to watch him in like such an extent.
yeah.
Yeah,
big
That's
plot.
such a better.
That's
That's
a
huge
character.
get for him because it's like it's better than just playing like a superhero in one franchise. Like you're essentially the next Thanos.
Thanos.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror has the possibility of probably being the next Thanos.
Yeah, and imagine if you're like a normal looking dude too. Like I'm saying, I'm just saying like celebrity wise for bro's like visibility. Like obviously he's already killing it, but like imagine if Thanos, like we know who Thanos is, but like Thanos don't look like Thanos.
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like him looking like his actual character is gonna be seen
Well, I
around
don't
the
think
world.
I think Kang the Conqueror is not gonna look.
We'll see. Kang the Conqueror.
Would you see his face, right?
You see his face, but he has like a blue mask with a purple helmet on. But under it,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
don't-
bro. I mean, he's gonna take his shit off.
Yeah, of course.
eventually,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And another thing about the Kang the Conqueror character is he's a descendant of Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I thought it was a descendant of Tony Stark.
I have a feeling that is what they are
That's what
going
they're
to
gonna
do.
try
to
make.
Like,
Damn.
just to keep that whole connection of Tony. I hope they don't.
Yeah.
But I feel like they will probably
Yeah.
do that, and he'll end up being a descendant of Tony Stark because like it's Tony Stark.
I wonder. I mean, I don't remember how he talks in the cartoons, but like, I wonder how they're gonna make him like deliver his lines. If he's gonna like have a little bit of air of like the way Tony Stark talks, how he's very like he's like a thinking man and like he speaks really fast and he's very like. So I'm not even sure like how does he really like communicate?
He talks like a normal person.
But is it like fast? Is it
no,
like
he's like because he's like from the fucking future. Like
Yeah.
he's like he probably did like he's like a descendant.
right?
Like,
No, for sure. I
fucking-
know.
like
Yeah.
thousands.
Yeah,
of years
thousands of
later.
years
Right.
into the future
Yeah.
descendant. So,
Yeah.
and
I'm
he's just
excited, man.
yeah. But the whole Spider-Man
Yeah.
thing and all that.
Yeah.
Being 1,000 years into the future is a superpower in itself.
Yeah.
You know,
Can you imagine if we just went back to like fucking 3000 BC with just like our technology from now, bro? We're literal like superheroes.
That's true. That's true.
Like this is a microwave.
You can go back there with a lighter and dude be like, oh,
You can go back there with a
Ooh.
lighter and literally probably be the most lit man on earth.
Literally.
Yeah.
Anything else to add? Any?
No, did you guys have anything to add about that?
nah. I mean, I'm excited about the Spider-Verse. I think it's so funny because
Do you want to see Jamie Foxx as Electro?
I want to see a reinvented Jamie Foxx as Electro because I'm a big Jamie Foxx fan.
Me too.
And I'm
Yeah.
anti-Electro fan.
Yeah.
So,
From that movie.
I want to see a redemption of him.
So exactly.
Yeah.
I want Jamie Foxx to have a new chance to do an ill Electro.
Exactly.
I think Jamie Foxx, I would say like there's certain movies that I think like, the performer did their thing, and what they did with the performer's performance did not do its thing. You know what I mean?
That, especially with like CGI, extra developed stuff. Like his contribution as an actor is so small in the grand scheme of like how the movie is made. There's so many other people.
There's so many other people. I'm just saying, like, even if he came back, right? Like, he's gonna come back. Like, everything that he did, like, would we want him to act different? Would we want him to be different? We want him to.
I would want him to be different.
You want him to like
from that last movie? Absolutely, that movie was terrible.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
But
it wasn't completely his fault. It was a bad story.
I almost feel like sometimes they're just like, I don't know, because I remember watching that and like, I get it, he was like being like a fucking nerd or whatever, and he's like, oh, like skittish and shit. But I think just I feel like certain actors, bro, don't fit in right into like certain tones of movies.
For sure.
I feel like movies that have that theatrical like music in the background and you drop your papers and they go everywhere. I don't know if that's the movie I see Jamie Foxx being in ever.
Right.
The way he acts, you know what I mean? I think if you dim the lighting, you turn that shit at Jamie Foxx and it gets real serious and he's being all skittish. Now it's like, it was fucking phenomenal.
You know? Off that shit.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like, like, I don't know. That's a random.
I feel like Jamie Foxx is self-aware enough that he sees this as like a second chance.
Oh, for sure.
To really like establish
I don't know
himself.
what interview it was, but it was some like late show, and he was telling a story, and he was like, and I couldn't go to that because I was filming a bad movie at the time. And like to know that like he has context, like they know when they're doing a bad movie, dumb shit, when they're doing shit for bread. Like,
facts. Yeah.
And so I'm sure he would, especially after seeing like reviews. I'm sure he's like, I'm gonna body this.
And like and also being aware of like
hey,
what
man,
other actors have done too.
Bro, right now.
What?
You're not gonna make me look dumb again.
Hey, you're not making me look dumb again, bro.
Right. This is like also this is very different. Like I've never heard of like an actor getting to play the
J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and also
I mean, I liked his first version too.
Who else? Judi Dench doing M in 007 and different
Well, there
different
it is.
versions of it.
So you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
You win, David.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how we've seen no movies in theaters this year?
I saw New Mutants.
Well, besides New Mutants.
Yeah.
Besides that
That's it. I haven't seen Tenet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's been a dry season. Anything else, fellas?
No.
Kyle, is there anything you want to promote? Anything you want to push onto the masses?
Quarantine. Yes, of course there's something I want to promote.
TikTok.
I follow me on TikTok. Duper Kyle.
See You When I'm Famous still out.
See You When I'm Famous. The album is still out. Ooh, you know, the movie Cherry just.
We didn't talk about Cherry.
Oh my God. When the day comes.
Coming soon on Apple TV. Okay, go check that out.
We're
Amazing
excited
movie.
for that.
Very excited.
And
we get the exclusive interview.
Oh, for sure. Exclusive interview right here.
Are they doing like any version of like a press run, or how does that work?
I'm sure they will. I'm sure we're gonna see it everywhere, billboards and
No,
shit.
I'm talking about like guys, like
junkets.
Yeah,
junket.
no, they'll definitely do it. I would still say like based off of the book, you know, like Cherry, the novel, it's like really following the story of like a singular person.
Right.
So like with COVID on top of that, like even though there's a lot of like big name actors in it, you know what I mean? I'd be surprised if they had us all like doing a crazy press run for it because it's like fucking COVID. You know what I mean? They might just send bro. They're like, Tom, get out there. You know what I mean? Go do that.
So do we have a date or when is?
Well, they just said that Apple what is it?
Apple just purchased
Apple Plus.
it. Yeah. So it's going to be streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apple bought it for 40 M's.
Yeah.
That's a good platform to be on.
Very good.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
No, it is. A lot of good shows, a lot of good movies on it. How about Sugar and Toys? How's that going?
Sugar and Toys is going
Is
good.
it almost out?
No, it's out. We
Season 2's out?
started season 2.
Okay.
You know, released. I think we're on episode 5 now.
Okay.
Coming up out of a total of like 6 or 7 episodes for this season.
Dope.
And yeah, it's been good. The response has been good. Like it was all voiceover work this time, which was like fucking weird for me. You know what I mean? Because I've never like actually did some voiceover work on like a cartoon.
Right.
But it was really tight. It was like tight for me to like learn that and be able to like use a show that I was like helping produce to like actually get my first like reps in at voice over acting, especially because animation is something I want to do more and more and more. You know, I got to voice over the character Kyle, which was a lot easier than doing a voiceover for like, I don't know, you know. Fucking voiceover actors are gods. I learned that through doing this show.
I have a good friend who made a crazy career out of voiceover acting, and it's like, it's one of the illest. He has such a he's Zuko from Airbender.
Oh wow! Wow!
And
wow!
So and he's also Rufio in real life from Hook.
Yeah.
So,
Dante.
Yeah,
so
Dante.
he has like this crazy following just based on Airbender and just based on Hook, and then he does other. Oh, and he's also American Dragon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Come on the show.
Yeah.
He said he's down whenever.
Guy's fucking a
American
legend.
Dragon, Jake Long. I forgot the name of the show. Is that what?
Is it an animated show?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Oh yeah, Jake Long, American Dragon. I fucking love that show. Are you kidding me? It's epic.
He's
him? I'm dead ass here.
I couldn't tell if he
He's
was
like a
fucking
little
with me.
dude. He lives in New York, and he fucking turns into a dragon. And
fine.
whenever he needs to, like, I've watched too many episodes of that.
But yeah, I think you would kill in that lane.
Yeah, you know what I'm noticing though? It's like it's a full blown like if acting is an art, this has nothing to do with that. Nothing at
It's a
all.
complete different thing.
Bruh, totally different thing. If somebody told you be a sponge.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be SpongeBob. You know what I mean? Like think about just like the person who was a sponge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or trying to just interact things that aren't real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And trying to like
That's crazy.
like trying to do that. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like because in the show there's all these things happening. I have like a best friend who's like a depressed robot. You know what I mean? And I have like another friend who's named Toxic Terrell, and he's just like. He's just like a toxic ass nigga who is like literally toxic waste. You know what I'm trying to interact with these people.
It's like your version of Oscar the Grouch.
Exactly. And so now I'm like trying to take this in as I'm doing like my first time like voice acting. That bro is toxic garbage. You know what I mean? And this is a robot. So I don't know, like trying to, and then I'll turn into certain things, right? Like I turn into like a thirst demon at one point, and I'm like this demonified version of myself that's just like horny for Instagram. Like, and it's like, how do I do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to
get in that headspace.
If I'm going to do a show or I go and like do like a movie and they're giving me my character, I can like work on that for an allotted amount of time, and I feel like I know how to be that person. Like being a fucking robot is much harder, I feel like, in my opinion, than just like than actual real life acting. So it was like, it was tight though.
That's dope.
It's going great. Reviews are awesome. We're making fun of a lot of rappers in there. So if you like doing that, check it out. Sugar and Toys season 2.
I still think that we should be the animated version of ourselves in Sugar and Toys.
That would be tight.
We should do like a little segment where we like interview like a superhero, but it's like superhero rehab or something. Like he comes onto the show because he's been canceled or something.
Bro.
And like we try to like.
That's amazing.
Pitch.
Look, you're pitching.
You see how we did that?
You're pitching. You're pitching. That's amazing.
All rights reserved.
Oh man. Well, I think that's good for this episode.
It's a great place to end because that's where we started.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at
Cool. Know who you're pitching to too. Look, see,
We like how we set that up at the beginning,
Comes back around.
and we come back around.
Came back around.
Nerds at the Cool Table. You could follow us at Cool Table Podcast on Instagram, at Cool Table Pod on Twitter, CoolTablePodcast.com. You can find all our archived episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think on Stitcher. You can find me at David Gallardo.
Julian Edwards, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Subscribe
Like
to YouTube.
button.
Do that.
I'm trying to do this live without the iPad in front of me.
Like button, subscribe, at Julian
Smash
Edwards on
that
everything.
subscribe button.
Yusef at YGLA. Like and subscribe the YouTube channel.
Yeah, Super Duper Kyle on everything, and like and subscribe to that YouTube channel, okay?
Listen to that man. He knows.
Or
what he's
we
talking
got
about.
problems, okay?
Tell him.
All right. All right.
Season 4.